All right, the 2016 exam for algebra, end of year, year 12. And this is question 3D. Last few questions coming up now. I've just got this one and two more. So let's see if we can solve this. And we're solving it, looks like for n. This is all very, very small, isn't it? Okay. So I'm noticing, though, that we've got things which are essentially possible factors or powers of 3. So 9, of course, is 3 squared. So I could rewrite that 9 as a 3 squared. And I could write the 27 as a 3 to the 3. And I got a 3 there, which, of course, is just a 3 to the 1, or just 3. So this is 3 times the squared, and it's times 8n plus 6. 8n plus 6. And this is a 23 to the 3, and it's n squared minus 1 times n squared minus 1. And this is a 3 to the 1, I'll put a 1 there, 3 to the 1, times 1 minus 3n, 1 minus 3n. Okay, now I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit by simply expanding the brackets here. So this is going to be a 3 to the power of 2 times 8 is going to be 16n, and 2 times 6 is going to be plus 12 is equal to, this is going to be 3 to the power of 3 times n squared is going to be 3n squared, and 3 times negative 1 is going to be minus 3 times 3 to the power of 1 times all that is just that. It's going to be 1 minus 3n. All right, now because the bases are all the same, I can just treat this, I could just really treat these just as these things here. But before I do, I'm noticing these are bases are the same, I've got powers, I can just add these two indices together. So I'm going to do one more iteration of this. So here's the first one, here's the second one, I've got a 3, 16n plus 12 is equal to, now I'm going to go 3, now I'm going to add all these things together. I've got a 3n squared minus 3 plus 1 plus, or I'll just go plus negative 3n, that'll do. So it's the same as this thing here, yeah? So that means implies that I've got a 3, 16n plus 12 is equal to, now what have I got here? I've got 3n squared, 3 to the 3n squared, negative 3 and negative 3n. So it's going to be minus 3n, and a negative 3 and a 2 is going to be minus 2. So now I can go ahead and just solve the whole thing, really, I think. So let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to rewrite it without the powers of 3. So I'm going to have 16n plus 12 is equal to 3n squared minus 3n minus 2. So in fact, I'm going to have an extra line down here as I have to tease this out a bit more. Let's subtract 12 from both sides. I think that's going to work pretty well. Minus 12. Let's see, minus 12. And I'm going to subtract 16n from both sides, minus 16n. So this the whole thing's now going to equal 0. So I've got a 3n squared. This is going to be minus 19n, and 12 and negative 2. So we're looking at a 12 is going to be minus 14. All right, so now let's go ahead and see if I can factorize that. So let's go ahead. So 3 14s. So let's see how we would do this. So, well, that's going to be, 3 14s is 42. So factors of 42, and really we want some factors of 42, going to be 1 and 42. And we want something actually that adds or subtracts to 19. Obviously, 3 times 14 works well. Yeah, okay, so I think 7 times 8, 6 eighths, 7 eighths, 56, 6 eighths are 42, 7 sixes are 42. So 7 and a 6 is 42. So what's the best way of going around this? let's see. We want something that's going to be. In fact, what am I doing here? I've gone out off the wrong track here. So 7 and 6. So this is going to be 14 and 3. I could also go 3 sevens is 21, and I've got 21 and 2. That's probably the best one to use. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm suddenly, my brain's gone fuck. That's what happens when you get to 60 years old. Okay, so it's just madness. All right, so here's the equation I've got. Let's go factorize that. Here it is. So I'm going to have a 3n here. I'm going to do it by division. Signs are different. Biggest one's going to be negative, and biggest one's going to be 21. So I'll put 21 here and a 2 over here. So I'm going to divide all this by 3. That works well. 3 goes into 3n n times. 3 goes into negative 21. 3 sevens, negative 7 is what we're after. And this is just 3n plus 2. Can't do anything with that. All right, so what's n going to be? So either n will equal 7 or n will equal, this is going to be a negative 2 divided by a 3. So they're my answers. So I've got 7 or negative 2/3. So I'm going to say n, and you want to do it in order, yeah? You want to say n, therefore, is an element of the set of negative 2/3, comma 7. You express it like that if you want. I would tend to do it like this because that's what the examiners will want. But put the negative one first, so it is in fact in order. All right, hopefully that makes sense.